Local matters here on News 12 Brooklyn as we turn to a parking lot of a Rite Aid here in the borough that is full of what appear to be patched up potholes. Now, before they were patched up, one of them, as one Brooklyn woman says, caused her to fall and sustain serious injuries. So she is suing the corporation. And as News 12 investigative reporter Caitlin Ulrich found, she's not the only one.
And I stopped over here to get something to eat.
In July of 2020, Carol Bell walked to this Rite Aid at 1154 Clarkson Avenue in Brownsville. Now, when she left, she says she tripped over this hole
and basically flew.
Carol and her lawyer said she had a herniated disc due to the fall. And she says it was only a few weeks after the fall that her doctors told her she would need surgery. And that's when Carol decided to sue Rite Aid of New York.
And the pain I was in, it was to the point that I was crying every night.
We reached out to Rite Aid for comment and have not heard back. But in court documents, the corporation's defense denies the corporation is at fault or responsible for Carol's fall and injuries. And part of the documents read that any injuries Carol had were caused by her own, quote, carelessness, recklessness, negligence, and other culpable conduct, unquote.
That's bullcrap.
During our investigation, we found another lawsuit was filed against the corporation for the same location. The court documents read that in November of 2020, 3 months after Carol's fall, a woman fell in the same parking lot sustaining injuries that will have permanent effect. And in those documents, the defense denies being at fault or liable for the fall or injuries again. And they read that if there were any, quote, dangerous or hazardous conditions, unquote, then it was, quote, open and obvious to the plaintiff, susceptible to being perceived by the plaintiff's utilizing her ordinary senses, unquote. Therefore, the corporation had no, quote, duty, unquote, to warn of the conditions.
It seems like Rite Aid is really digging their heels in, dragging their feet. They know we have a solid case. Instead of coming to the table and offering to settle, they want to just wait it out, see if they can wait us out. And they know we've got at least another 2 years before we get to a jury trial.
But Carol's lawyer provided us with what he says are the store compliance monthly safety checklists for most of 2020 leading up to Carol's fall. Nearly every month, aside from February, May, and June, there is a note about the broken pavement, concrete. The checklist filed days after Carol's fall notes, quote, parking lot has holes, unquote, and that it was, quote, called in to be fixed, unquote. But he gave us what he says is the store's repair record for 2020, and no repairs were recorded.
And they just want to make her wait and hope that she gets desperate and will take a small settlement.
Carol and her lawyer won't share the exact dollar amount they're suing for, but they are looking for Carol to receive money for her surgery and future medical expenses as a result of that injury. In Brownsville, Caitlin Ulrich, News 12.